What if all people did sports? What would happen if every single human on Earth suddenly woke up tomorrow and decided, without question or complaint, to become an athlete? Not just go for a jog once a week, but full-on commit to daily sports. The toddlers are powerlifting, grandma's doing CrossFit, and your mailman just broke the national 100-meter sprint record. What would happen to society? First off, we'd have to say goodbye to the classic "I'm too tired" excuse. Because in this timeline, everyone, yes, even that guy who hasn't stood up since 2012, is suddenly obsessed with movement. Gyms would overflow. Parks would turn into obstacle courses. And yoga studios? They'd be booked solid until 2089. Cities would need redesigning. Every sidewalk would be widened to accommodate runners, sprinters, and rogue skateboarders. Office chairs would be swapped for squat racks. Instead of "take a number," doctors' offices would offer "take a kettlebell." Even elevators might get decommissioned, because who needs them when the average person can vertical leap to the 10th floor? But let's get scientific. Assuming 8 billion people are now training their bodies daily, global health would skyrocket. Heart disease? Gone. Type 2 diabetes? Rare. Depression and anxiety? Way down, thanks to those sweet endorphins. Human lifespans would increase so drastically, the Guinness World Records team would need a dedicated, still alive, department. However, there would be complications. The fashion industry would be obliterated. Why wear jeans when compression tights offer 20% better mobility and +10 to your self-esteem? Red carpets would become tracks, and instead of asking, "Who are you wearing?" the question would become, "How many burpees can you do in that?" Food culture would shift, too. Goodbye deep-fried butter. Hello chicken breast, brown rice, and protein shakes flavored like sadness. Every corner shop would stock electrolytes and pre-workout instead of chips and candy. Chefs would cry, but personal trainers would rise to power like muscular warlords. But wait, what about competition? If everyone's doing sports, then everyone's improving. Which means athletes wouldn't just be fit, they'd be Olympic level. By 2030, the average grandmother could deadlift a horse. Sports records would be broken so fast that the Guinness Book would have to go digital just to keep up. The 100-meter sprint would be over before the starting pistol even echoes. Javelins would pierce low-flying drones. And don't even ask about basketball. We need to raise the hoops to aircraft cruising altitude. And then there's the issue of politics. Imagine world leaders racing to resolve conflicts, literally. We challenge you to a triathlon for diplomatic control of the Arctic shipping lanes. United Nations meetings would take place on stationary bikes. Debates would involve push-up contests. And nuclear disarmament might hinge on who can hold the longest plank. Economies would also face a shift. Productivity would initially plummet, not because people are lazy, but because they're all too busy running marathons or rock climbing buildings. The phrase, "working from home," would be replaced with "working from your pull-up bar." However, a new industry would boom, sports gear. Global GDP might be measured in gym shorts and wearable fitness trackers. But here's where it gets strange. With everyone doing sports, the concept of elite starts to blur. If your 8-year-old niece has a VO2 max of 90, and your boss can do a backflip while answering emails, then what is excellence anymore? Humanity would need new ways to stand out. Perhaps mental sports would become the next frontier. Chess boxing? Already a thing. But maybe we'll invent Sudoku fencing or philosophical parkour. Of course, the environment might benefit. With fewer cars and more bikes, air quality would improve. Obesity would plummet, healthcare systems would breathe a sigh of relief, if systems could breathe, and urban noise would change from car horns to synchronized grunting. But in all this excitement, one question remains: would people actually be happier? Sure, they'd be healthier, faster, and able to escape awkward conversations via sprint. But if everyone is fit, where's the novelty? Would sports still be fun? Or would it become just another daily chore, like brushing your teeth, but with more sweat and fewer minty flavors? Perhaps moderation is key. Perhaps the magic of sports lies in choosing it, not being forced into it. Because if everyone's always running, maybe the real rebels are the ones sitting still, with a donut in one hand and a book in the other. Then again, those rebels better start running soon. Because the next Olympic Games are open entry. And your grandma just qualified for 4 events.